Welcome back everyone to my 200% walkthrough of Crash Bash with me, Ridge Renegade. Now in this part number 33, we will be covering all of Warframe 5's Platinum Relics, which is Splash Dash, Drag and Drop, Mallet Mash, Swamp Fox, Keg Kaboom and Dante's Dash. Now, I just want to quickly just discuss why I'm using the cheats in this walkthrough. I actually recorded all of these legitimately, and I had all the footage ready and prepped, and for some weird reason, it cuts out the entire sort of video aspect of, like, you can hear the audio, but it just doesn't seem to, or didn't seem to have captured the video footage. So I do sincerely apologise. I'm having to use cheats for this. You don't necessarily need to, but just to cover a quick couple of strategies about Splash Dash. You want to make sure, obviously, you collect the Wumpa Foods to get the boosts, and you want to try to steer the opponents into the poles. Usually they will try to boost away, and they will most likely hit the pole itself. And obviously you want to try and jump over the poles if you're going to be staying on the inside, which is probably the easiest way to win. So you want to sort of combine all of that, and hopefully you should actually manage to win a Platinum Relic within Splash Dash. Now, on to Drag and Drop. Now, I personally have a different strategy for this. You can sort of barge the opponents to get the gems off them. That's one of the main rules. But what seems to be actually quite easy to do is wait for them to hit the board and then try to get the gem when it bounces back off. The reason being is that you're only going to have one other person to deal with, so you want to see what gem they're going to go for and then try to get the other gem, if that makes sense. So let's say, for example, like now, there's no one that I had to deal with, so I got the green gem pretty easy and got easy 5 points. And then most of the time, if you see, I'm pushing Cortex and he's pushing me and I only get 1 point. And it makes it very hard for me to actually get any more than 2. Now, this is where it becomes very chaotic, very frantic, because most of the time, you may not have a gem. I mean, obviously you want to try and get 5 points as quickly as you can, but it can be very, very, very hard to actually get. So as you see now, I've got a purple gem, so I need to try and shoot it as quickly as I can. And as you can see, it's going all the way up to 999. But that is one of the key things that you need to do, especially if you're playing co-op. Both of you need to try and tackle one of the opponents, so you both need to hone in on one opponent to ensure that one of you gets the gem. And then hopefully you don't actually push each other, because again, there's no such thing as friendly fire, so if you actually do push your friend or teammate, they're going to lose their gem, and you may gain it, but that's not exactly what you want. You want to both gain points at the same time. So that's pretty much one of the strategies for it. I mean, obviously you want to get the gems, try to shoot them as quickly as you can, because again, even if the gem rebounds off the wall into the target from wherever you shot it, it will count. So if I shoot it at the ×5 area, it misses the target at first but bounces into it, then that will still count, even if I'm moving. So that's what you want to keep in mind as well, and at any point. But ideally you want to try to get ×3 or ×5. You don't want to try to get anything less than that, because it really will not help, because the opponents will always try to get the highest points that they can. So as you can see now, I am trying to scramble for the gem and I'm completely missing it. Everyone's shooting left, right and centre. It's utter chaos here. So I missed with the blue gem. Everyone else has got all their other gems besides me. I'm trying to get the purple one. Get the purple one, we shoot it. Now I'm only just in the lead. I need a couple more points and I should be alright. So I've got 5 points now. I'm still very close to losing. And we win. Now, to be honest, I didn't need to use a 999 point sort of code, but I did it because I honestly thought that they were going to win. So, always handy to have that. Now, see, that's a problem. As you can see, that I was pushing on Crash to get the gem, and Cortex managed to get 10 points. And I haven't got any by that point. So that's one thing you want to sort of prioritize, you know, who's got the most points, who's the biggest threat in this type of minigame. Right, so it's about halfway through the game itself. I've got 8 points. I'm losing quite badly. Still haven't got a gem yet. 3 gems now available, which should make it much easier for me to actually gain some points. I still missed, even with the rebound. Managed to score with the blue gem, but I've still got a long way to catch up. Cortex has got 25 points and I've only got 13. So all the gems need to be bound into me so I can actually get the points. So I've got 18, we can probably catch up. We've got 28, so it's all good. And again, that was another case of I didn't actually need a cheat, but I done it as a precautionary measure because Cortex was so close. And again, as many people may know, when you're 1 point ahead of the computer and in the last second they score, it's very, very heartbreaking. It's so annoying when that happens, because you feel like you've done all that work only to just get completely sort of pushed to the side at the last moment. Well, luckily it doesn't take long to get up to 999, just a couple of seconds. And bada bing bada boom, there you go. That's a Drag and Drop Platinum Relic. And now we're going to be going on to Mallet Mash, which I actually re-recorded this with no cheats, believe it or not, I know. So good! But this one's pretty easy. The strategies you want to have for this is you want to charge your shots, obviously, and if you have the lightning power up, then you want to use that. Always get the gold relics, but stand sort of on it, and then charge. So you can score up to 20 points, which is really helpful. Then, to be honest, the power-ups, whichever one you get, is super helpful. I mean, the lightning one, if you charge it in a small area of 3 or 4, then you can gain between, you know, maybe 15 to 20 points. You can also knock the other opponents out with it if they're trying to gain them as well. And you can also maybe score like a gold mushroom if that's near as well, which will gain even more. As for the speed shoe, that will give you the advantage of actually getting over to that particular mushroom, or mushrooms rather. So that's what you just want to keep in mind as well. You ideally want to probably hit the opponent with the power up as well, like that. So I saw Embryo had it, so I thought I'd hit him out in case he gets more points than I do. And there we go, we managed to win by about a good 11 points. And these are the same opponents as in the Medieval Mayhem games, so got essentially the Crash Bandicoot 1 classics, I'd like to call them. Got Embryo, Crash, and Cortex as our opponents. So you see now, Crash has got the speedy shoe, so he was going to get the golden mushroom regardless of if I use that power up or not. Now, as you can see here, there's about 3 here, and I got quite a fair amount of points. So I'm actually still in there, I can still catch up. Now there's 2 boxes here, so I can actually go get this gold mushroom. Now the problem is that I could barely see it sort of jittering, so to speak, especially when you're in front of it from that view. It's very hard to tell when you should hit it. I mean, I personally would say to maybe wait 3 seconds in game, because if you wait about 3 seconds in the game, then you're guaranteed to get the 20 points. Usually 2 seconds will be 15, and then 1 second will still be the 10 points as per normal. The same with the other mushrooms as well. There's usually like a 3-second time wait if you want to get the maximum amount of points. So that's another key strategy to keep in mind if you can't see what you're doing. Oh, I completely forgot I actually used the 999 code. Sorry! Yeah, now that one I think I would have lost round 2. By about 4 points, roughly. And the funny thing is, the mushrooms keep exploding, like, straight away. Like, the game's still going on. So I retract my statement from what I said earlier about this is the only one that I use without using a treat. I apologise. It's probably the minigame that I use the less treats in, so to speak. On Warping 5, anyway. Now, the final one. Final round. Here we go. Now, I completely missed that box, and I missed, like, the mushroom twice. It was appalling. There's a gold mushroom over there. I could probably get to it if Cortex moves out of the way. I managed to get it from Embryo only just. Now, I can see there's a box over here, so I'm going to grab it. I was hoping for a lightning power, but I didn't get it, sadly. And I get it here, which is good, because there's a gold mushroom here. So if they all try to get it, I can smash it, and I got 14 points altogether, which is pretty good. Now that makes me very close to being with Crash. So I just need to get a couple more points and I should be in front of Crash. And now I need to worry about Cortex. So I can see the gold mushroom now. I didn't actually get it on time. I hit Crash, but that was about it. And that's not entirely what I wanted to do. So I've got 3 points. I see the golden mushroom here, so I'm thinking I need to hold it as long as I can before they come over. I get 15 points, and I'm thinking they can still gain a couple of points if they get a lightning power up. So I managed to just hit a couple more mushrooms, and I won by about 8 points, so that was a very close round indeed. And so after the minigame's done in Warframe 5, so now we're going to go into Swamp Fox, which, to be honest, it can be fairly hard to do this one. I didn't know how hard it was actually going to be. Now, obviously you're going to be thinking, oh, I'm getting hit, I'm not losing health. I had an invincibility cheat on, which upon activating the button I would be invincible. Unless I pressed it again, which would now take more damage, like, for example, now. But the thing about this treat, though, just a general hint, is that when I activate this treat, when you get hit, you get health. So it's very weird how it operates. I would have thought it would have just been invincible, you know, that's it. What I like to do is try to place mines on this field. Now, the mines will always sort of shift over to the direction that you were going in anyway. Now, with Rillaroos, I know he's probably not maybe the most favourable counter in Crash Bash, but him and Dingodile have 2 shots available. Now, they're not the most powerful, but as you may know in Swamp Fox, you can have a shield up by pressing the X button, which only deflects 1 shot. Now, at the speed of Rillaroos and Dingodile's shots, you can fire off 2 like, immediately. The first one will hit the shield and break it, and then the second one will actually hit them and do damage. So I personally think Rillaroos and Dingodile are one of the best characters in this type of game, in Swamp Fox. Now obviously, they're not as damaging as Tiny and Koala Kong, they're not as quick as Crash or Cortex's laser beams, but they are really, really good. And as you can see there, Cortex was fighting Tiny, I managed to get Tiny down, and Cortex actually ran into the mine with Crash. Now, again, the mines do about 60% damage. Now the thing about this game, again, keep in mind, there are no power-ups, there's no missiles, there's no Wumpa Fruit pickups, there's no bombs, there's no anything. So if you're at very low health, you have to be extremely careful on this map. And I do think personally, whilst this is the most fun, it can also be the most challenging minigame within Warframe 5. Because you can be very, very good through rounds 1 to 2, and when you get to round 3, you can easily mess it up, and at any round you can mess it up. It's dependent on, you know, what's happening. If you're doing it co-op, if the opponent's all going for you, which sometimes can happen. Sometimes 2 of them will try to sort of barrage you and go in for the kill, so to speak. So anyway, as we can see here, Crash is in the corner, so I just need to keep shooting, and even if I don't use the invincibility cheat, I will still win, because I outrank him by health. And then we eventually kill him, and that means that we have won 3 times in a row, which means that we get the Swamp Fox Platinum Relic. Now, on to Keg Kaboom, which can be a very interesting Platinum Relic. You can gain quite a lot of points in this, as a lot of people know. And now, ideally what I like to do is try to keep the fire right next to you. The reason I say this is because the moment you run into it, it essentially means that, or run into the barrel, essentially means that it's going to explode, which is what you want. You don't want to run into the barrel and then 2 seconds, 3 seconds later it explodes. You don't want that at all. You want them to explode straight away so you can get the points as quickly as you can. Now, as you can see here, Crash is in the lead by a lot of points. Now, the only power-up you get is the lightning power-up, which, as you all know, will explode in a really wide radius and gain all the points around, which in this minigame is extremely, extremely useful. You'll have no idea how useful it is until you actually get it. So, for example, if you were to be near a batch of crates, most of the time you will be near most of these kegs. You get quite a number of points, and also keep in mind when you do get the kegs, it will go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and stay at 10 until you get hit or you lose your fire. The silver ones jump you, give 10 points straight away, and the gold ones give you 20 straight away, so you want to keep that in mind. Now, as you can see, I lost by a fair bit, and bada bing, bada boom, we have the magic of the 999. And the funny thing in this minigame is that the kegs stop spawning like the moment you win. Usually, you know, you'd have them spawn up because they're getting damaged, but in this, no, they just stay there. I have had one where I won and the background, complete background including the floor, disappeared. It was just all black with the kegs in the fire going around. It was very weird. I don't know how to get that back, so to speak, get that to activate again. But if you're playing this co-op, then obviously you want to have maybe one person call out for the power up. The reason I say that is because you're holding, I believe, square all the time in doing this, and to activate the power up you have to press circle. So either you're going to have to sort of put the controller down on the ground to literally hold square whilst you're moving and press circle at the same time, or unless you have very, very long fingers, then you can do it. Or your co-op partner could actually run, get the power up and use it whilst you're gaining the points. Now, this is probably, again, one of the other mini-games that I would say it seems harder in the Platinum Relic Challenge than it ever did in the Gold Relic. I don't know why, whether it's me or not, but in Crash Bash, a lot of these Platinum Relics seem quite harder, like really harder than the actual Gold Relics itself. And that's another thing I didn't quite get about Keg Kaboom. They give you the jump ability from the Crate Crush levels and the other Medieval Mayhem level Ring Ding, but there's no need for it. Like, you're not jumping up to get anything, like, at all. I mean, yes, it helps you travel a little bit, but to be honest, it doesn't help at all. I mean, you never really need to jump at all. Now, I believe on that part, I actually would have won without having to use a treat, so I was a bit cautious. I was thinking, you know what, I don't want them to get like 50 points in one go, because sometimes they can do that. They'll get a rack of points, and as you all know, it won't stack up until the time runs out, so you won't really know. So now, round number 3, the final round for Keg Kaboom. And that's another little trick as well I completely forgot to mention. If there's two kegs like that, where they're sort of either side, creating like a little entrance, so to speak, go in between them. The reason I say that is because you'll actually get two of them in one burn, essentially. Two birds with one stone, whatever you want to call it. And that can significantly help you gain points and also ensure that you're using the time to the best ability as you can, really. You know, you can only do so much with what you've got. And that's what I also hate about the computers in this game. Like, you'll gain so many points, like you'll be in the 10s and you'll be constantly getting 10s, and then they'll have electric and you're thinking, when are they going to use it? And then they use it when there's a big batch of kegs. Now obviously I know that's the reasonable thing to do if you're playing, thinking, oh well, I'll get the big kegs, sort of knock out all the other opponents and go from there. But it's just so annoying. Like, why do they have to do that? Couldn't they just have it when they use it at maybe 1 or 2 kegs, not like 5 of them? Where they gain like 50, 60 points from doing it, depending. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. As you can see, I'm losing by a whole lot indeed. Even though I've got lightning power, the chances of me winning are very slim. And I hit Cortex out, but again, I'm only gaining 2, so I'm not going to win because he's got quite a batch. So I just started jumping around and I thought, you know what, we are going to use the cheat code one more time. Again, this level is doable, but it's, again, entirely dependent on if you want to spend hours or even a couple of minutes doing it. Depends on, number 1, if you get lucky, and number 2, on how persistent you really are. That's what it depends on, personally. Now, that is the Platinum Relic 1 for Keg Kaboom. And now for Dante's Dash. Now, as you can see, it is 1 lap. As again, I did state, I did have problems recording this the first time, where for whatever reason the video cut out. Now, I actually like this because it takes the stage of, I think, like Boneyard and Dynamite from Crash Bandicoot 3. Now, the one little thing you want to keep in mind is that it's very similar to Toxic Dash. There's obstacles in their way, which are these little lava balls, which will fire out in sort of like 3 ways. Now, obviously, it's very easy not to get hit by them, and the computers are usually very boost happy, so they'll go into them. So you want to sort of keep in the middle as close as you can with the inside of the track, and you'll be perfectly fine. I mean, you get missiles and you can use them, obviously, but you don't need to be completely frank. And that basically means that we have won all the platinum relics, so now we're going to go on to the final part of my walkthrough.